This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm your host, Brett, here with Carl. What's going on, Carl?
I'm drinking out of a crystal skull that's cracking.
It's been a while, man. We missed a week last week.
Yeah, Lisa was in the hospital. I wasn't able to do the show last week.
Well, we were originally going to do it Friday before she went in.
Yeah.
Because you had something you were supposed to do Saturday night. And we was like, well, let's just do it Saturday then, because you said your plans got screwed up, and then she ended up going to the hospital. So
we missed last week's show, so we're doing it this week, and I'm glad we missed because it's going to be a better show now.
Yeah, we got a special guest tonight.
Yes,
who the hell do we got over there?
I don't know. Who's your special guest?
You probably recognize her voice. It's our good friend, Natasha, who is also the very first voice you hear when the podcast starts. So thanks for coming on again.
The first episode.
First episode, yes.
Oh, wow. I have too. Oh, my God.
Going on 6 years in July.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, we'll start our 6th season in July. So.
Oh my God. That's incredible, guys.
It is. I think we've done this longer together than we did Moxley Manor, haven't we? Or
about, yeah.
Getting close.
Getting close, yeah. And I got a new screen set up now. You can actually see more stuff. I hope.
Well, I'm vain. I just let everybody look at me.
I hope it looks
my background.
I hope it looks better. So, but anyway, tonight we haven't done a Hammer film in a while, so we're going to do a Hammer film. What Hammer film are we going to do, Natasha?
We are doing the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Satanic.
Ooh.
Ooh, creepy.
It was actually known in the United States as Count Dracula and His Vampire Brides.
Yep.
I don't know that it was ever released much for that, but that was the U.S. working title of it.
Yep. And I
actually have a DVD under that name.
Oh, cool.
And it's a different cut of the movie completely.
Oh. I wonder why they did it that way. Do you think it's because America's maybe more religious and they didn't want to be like,
especially in the 70s, there was a lot more feedback.
Yeah.
Because when this came out,
hold on, I'm going to grab that.
It was it was filmed in 73 and released in 74 in the UK, but it wasn't released in the United States until 78. And that's basically the start of like the satanic panic going on and stuff from late 70s through basically the 90s, you know. Over here they had the satanic panic deal, and made a big deal about that. So I can see why they definitely changed it. So.
And here is the actual release of it. Count Dracula and His Vampire Bride. Sorry, it's bride, not brides.
All right.
Yeah. The first bit of trivia on it.
You got a Blu-ray on this too? I thought they were two
separate movies until one day I'm like, that's the exact same movie as Satanic Rites of Dracula. Just a little changes.
All right. Satanic Rites of Dracula, directed by Alan Gibson, screenplay by Don Houghton, based on Count Dracula and Professor Van Helsing by Bram Stoker, produced by Roy Skeggs, Cinematography, Brian Probin. Edited by Chris Barnes. No, not the ex-singer from Cannibal Corpse. That's not
I was
him.
wondering. Not really, because I don't remember who the ex-singer was.
And he's what's his band he's got now? 6 Feet Under. Yeah. Music by John Kakavas. Wasn't much of a score in this, really, is the usual Hammer films. At least I don't
Oh, it's
remember.
more of a. It's got that. I like the beginning song. It's sort of disco-y.
Yeah, it's definitely got the
Ooh.
70s sound to it. So,
Oh, yeah.
all right, production company Hammer Film Productions, distributed by Columbia Warner Distributors.
Which I don't know
Released.
what that is. Columbia Warner. I don't know what that is. They never worked together, to my knowledge.
Well, I think wasn't it through Warner over in the UK, and then Columbia distributed it here in the
I
US.
think it was Warner here. Matter of
Okay.
fact, I know it is because this is a Warner archive. So yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Release dates 13th of January of 1974 in the UK and the 13th of November 1978 in the US. Has a running time of 87 minutes. Just the perfect length for this movie, I think.
It is.
Country of origin, United Kingdom, English language. It made 223,450,000 pounds. I don't have no idea how much that is in US.
50
So
cents.
I don't think it made much money in the US, honestly. Don't even know if it had a real proper release here.
probably very limited release. Very limited, I would say. So all right. It's your time to shine, Natasha. Let's go with the cast.
So it stars the great, the one and only Christopher Lee. It's got Peter Cushing, Michael Coles, William Franklin, Freddie Jones, and Joanna Lumley, Loomley, whatever. Her.
Close enough.
That's it.
That's it. Massive
That's it.
cast.
Okay. I seen way more than that. But most of them are like guards and stuff. So
Yeah, they had a few people in there, and they had like, all the people doing the ritual and all the other vampires and stuff. So I don't know if that's just like the main, people in there, like from Scotland Yard and whatnot. So yeah.
gotcha. All right, Carl. Go with the
Boy, I don't know how
plot.
you explain the plot to this thing. The movie starts, they're conducting the Satanic Rites of Dracula. They got some girl on the table and they're doing their ceremony, and I guess this guy was he captured and he gets loose from the compound. Brad, I don't know how to explain that part.
Yeah, it's sort of strange.
I've seen this movie 1,000 times and I still don't really know. I think he was like Scotland Yard, and he'd like infiltrated the whatever they are.
I thought he was undercover to
I think he
see if,
was, yeah, like an
yeah,
undercover.
old mate was,
Yeah,
yeah. They're
and they,
investigating somebody who's like part of Scotland Yard, and they've
yes,
sent someone in undercover and then to
D.D.
be like,
Denham, I
what's going
believe
on?
the name was,
Mm.
and I think he got caught, so they were after him, and he got loose, and they chased him through the streets of London on motorcycles, and it becomes sort of like a spy, almost
Yeah, almost
James
like a spy.
Bondy.
Yeah, James
Yeah,
Bondy, sort of. Yeah.
which
Like,
is part of the allure of this movie. It's got so much going on in it that it never really slows down. It's certainly not a 1960s Hammer vampire film. And
no,
it's a
it's not.
lot different than that Dracula 72, whatever it was,
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
I
all the
agree.
hippies. With all, yeah, that movie's awful. I hate that movie. I don't like all the. Me and Brett both didn't like that movie very well.
Oh no, I loved it. I thought it was great.
I think this is actually the sequel to it, so it's a follow up. They changed the Van Helsing's daughter to a different actress, and but that's sort of the plot. They're just trying to infiltrate this group or right whatever they're doing in there, and there's a bunch of rich people, crooked politicians. They're all part of Dee Dee Denham's little coven, I guess we'll call it, for lack of a better word.
Cult, maybe?
Cult.
The
Yeah,
Count
cult.
Dracula cult.
Yeah, and they're definitely doing some satanic rites in this thing.
And
it's got one of the coolest plot twists in the history of any movie, which is why I've always liked this. And this is not really a spoiler. I'm just going to tell it. Dracula is trying to unleash the Black Plague on the world and basically kill the whole entire world off. Yeah.
the thing I
That's
don't
a-
understand about that, though, is how would he feed then if he killed
Everybody
them?
asks me that same question when I tell them that. And I don't think he cares. I think he's ready to die for good.
I kind of seen it from the moment Van Helsing's granddaughter walked in. I
Right?
didn't see it as a plot twist. I was like, here we go. But I don't know, like I'm watching this movie like 50 years later after, a lifetime of watching horror movies kind of thing. So fair enough. Maybe it was different back then, like in the 70s. But I still really enjoyed it. I still really love watching a old school 70s horror movie.
It is definitely different. It's
There was a TV show that had, I can't think of the name of it, but the vampires were in charge, ran like New York City and stuff, and was like they took place like in the World Trade Center or something. That was like their headquarters, and it's an older series, but it's sort of that part of it sort of reminded me of that TV show.
I don't know.
I forget the name of that show. It was only on like a couple of
Sounds interesting.
seasons. Can't think of it, but anyway. So is that all you
Yeah.
got for the plot, Carl?
Yeah, there's really no way to explain the plot of this thing. Like I said, I already gave away the big plot twist, but you really need to watch it. That's a good way to entice somebody to watch the movie. Because a lot of people are going to get tired of this thing and probably turn it off in the beginning because they don't understand what they're watching. So,
But then it gets to the part where it's just Van Helsing
and
chasing
Dracula.
after Dracula, trying to do away with him again. So, all right.
You want to go over the Blu-ray real quick?
Yeah, go over the Blu-ray and that DVD
So,
or whatever you got there for sure.
This movie had never got a proper release ever. I don't know why Warner never released it. I think it somehow fell into the public domain. I don't know how, but Warner Brothers finally put this out on their Warner Archives. I can't talk. And it looks great on DVD. They're better than DVD by far is what I meant to say, the Blu-ray. There is no special features. Don't know that any exist for this, but really, really good copy of this. It's still available on Amazon. And again, we had the US version, the Count Dracula and his Vampire Bride, which is a totally different movie. They cut all the bad stuff out, and it's like almost having a different movie.
So there's no boobies?
No, there's not anything like that.
Oh man.
And this
What?
is a good this was digitally remastered for the DVD, and it looks better than any other copy ever did. So it's available on Vudu or with Fandango now and everywhere. You can find it on where'd you watch it, Brett?
I watched it on Prime. It looked pretty good.
Yeah. And I think they're running this Warner Archive mix of it everywhere now. So I'm glad this finally got a good release. I don't know if Warner will put it out on 4K ever. They've been working on some of the older Hammer films in 4K, but the big snag now is if Netflix buys Warner, then we might not get any Blu-rays or any physical media from them again. So we'll see how that goes.
That will suck too.
Keep what you got. Don't sell anything if it has the Warner Brothers name on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start stocking up, I think, for
Yep.
sure. All right. I guess we'll go into trivia. What do you say? Trivia?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of trivia. We've talked a little bit about some of the stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure I've ruined some of the trivia like I always do.
Yeah, fucker. Christopher Lee found himself getting increasingly dismayed and disillusioned that Dracula's portrayal was moving increasingly away from the source material, calling this movie a mixture of Howard Hughes and Dr. No in a 1994 interview, which he's correct for sure. And if you don't know who Howard Hughes was, he was a very repulsive billionaire, lived out in the desert in Las
That's
Vegas.
sort of how this Dracula was.
And Dr. No, that's a very good James Bond film. So, like, we talked about that. So, all right. Christopher Lee later claimed that for his death scene, he had to tear his way through actual hawthorn bushes, shedding real blood on the sharp thorns. That was a crazy scene, man.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Natasha?
I think that's pretty wild that that was actually real. They made him actually do that. Wow, real bushes and stuff. That's insane.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. This was the final Hammer film in which both Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing appeared together.
The Swan Song.
This was Christopher Lee's final appearance as Count Dracula in the Hammer Dracula films. However, he reprised his role in the French comedy Dracula and Son from 1976.
That is not a good movie.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen it. I
Is it
don't recommend it to anybody.
Is it subtitled since
No.
it's from France?
I've got an actual English version of it. Yes, I own that movie. I don't know that I'm proud of that, but I do.
Joanna Lumley described Peter Cushing as being a lovely man to work with. You hear that from everybody, though. That's
Yeah,
ever
I've never
worked
heard
with
anything
him.
bad about him.
By the time the film entered production, the number of staff working for Hammer had been greatly reduced until only a handful of employees remained. The reason for this was due to the fact that British horror films were going out of fashion and that the Americans dominated the film genre. When did Hammer finally shut down? Like 1980 or something?
I think so. They actually never officially shut down.
Yeah, but quit
They just
producing.
quit. Yeah. They did that World of Hammer TV show. Might have been the last thing they put out.
Oh yeah.
So
I've seen that like 5 times.
I have too.
It's like continuously on Shudder. Despite Dracula being killed at the end of the last film, Dracula AD 1972, here he's already been resurrected. Unlike previous films in the series, that is not shown on screen, nor are there any details given to how it occurred. He just showed up.
Nah, I think that's good. I'm tired of being the resurrection scenes always.
Yeah.
I thought that when they did the thing with the chicken over the naked girl
Isn't that
in
a
the
trip?
start, that's when they resurrected it.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I don't know. I had a different reaction to this movie.
Well, when they gave her
leave it for the end.
well, when they gave the woman the dagger, you didn't see no chicken, and I thought she was going to stab the girl, but she cut the chicken's head off or whatever.
Yeah, in the start. I thought the same, but that's just what I assumed. Although, like you guys said, the beginning's weird. We don't really know.
It is weird.
What's going on.
Yeah. All right. Unusual for a Hammer production, it fell into public domain.
There we go.
In the United States, it's widely available on home video under its original British title, The Satanic Rites of Dracula, and later the U.S. title, Count Dracula and His Vampire Vampire Bride. Copies of both titles can contain the original 87-minute R-rated version.
That's a lie. The version I got right here is not the original 87-minute version. It's cut.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Was it really rated R?
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, because there was breasts in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They weren't even.
If you show a little, if you show nipple, you got to have an R rating.
It's also got probably enough violence in it that they would have R-rated it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm reading the back of my Warner archive, and it does say also known as Count Dracula and his Vampire Bride. So that is officially the second name of this thing per Warner Brothers. So there we go. I don't know who the Vampire Bride was. I guess it was going to be Van Helsing's granddaughter or daughter or whatever she was.
Well, that's the next thing here. Stephanie Beacham was intended to reprise her role as Jessica Van Helsing from Dracula AD 1972, but she was unavailable, so they got that other girl.
I like the first one better.
Yeah.
She seemed more like a Van Helsing.
Although the film was shot from November 1972 to January 1973, the Satanic Rites of Dracula wasn't released in America until 1978, like we discussed earlier. Wonder why they waited so long. That's strange. For them to cut all the stuff out, took them a while to do that.
I think Hammer had just fallen so out of place in the United States by then, nobody cared.
Yeah, true.
Sad to say, but like you said, it was all the 70s became the U.S. domain of horror. Chainsaw and all that crap. It killed the whole. That's why Hammer changed their whole gimmick around.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm eating hot tamales as we're doing the show. What do you think of that?
Are they hot?
They're hot, yeah.
Well, they taste like a red hot or something. I've never had one.
Just a cinnamon candy.
Gotcha. Michael Coles reprised his role as Inspector Murray from Dracula AD 1972. Besides Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, he was the only actor to play the same character in more than one Hammer Dracula film. Let's see here. This is the final Hammer film to be completed under the aegis of company chairman James Carreras. And then I don't think it, like I said, they quit doing everything in 80, so I'm pretty sure it was 1980. All right, the skyscraper where Dracula appears to live is Center Point, a notorious London landmark in the 1970s. Although one of the biggest buildings in Europe, it was in reality unoccupied for some years after its completion. So it was empty at the time that they filmed it. Huh.
Interesting.
Another building, the Panoramic in Pimlico, London, may also be the location of the exterior shot. As an in-joke, Dracula's lair was named Pelham House, a reference to retiring James Carrera's house at Pelham Place in London. Must be one of them ritzy houses.
Yeah.
Peter Cushing and Freddie Jones had previously worked on another Hammer film, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed from 1969. We done that one?
Yeah.
We did do it?
I think I say that. Maybe not. I think so.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Maybe we haven't. I know this is the last Hammer Dracula where I'm not doing the Dracula Meets the Seven Brothers. I refuse to do that movie. It's stupid. It's beyond stupid. It's a kung fu movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's a kung fu movie where Dracula just appears in China in a cave. Yeah.
Wow.
Hammer was trying everything at the end.
I'm gonna watch it just for the shits and gigs.
Watch it.
Right?
Yeah.
Just for the lulz.
Yeah.
What's that? Count Dracula and the Seven Golden Brothers. Is that the
Yeah,
what
it's
the
got
name is?
several names.
Okay. Dracula poses as a multimillionaire who is never seen in public and has never been photographed. A 1970s audience would inevitably have been reminded of eccentric and reclusive Howard Hughes, like
Dee Dee Denham.
you know.
Scarlett wants to say hi. Here, come in and say hi. Then you got to go because we're busy. She wants to say hi to Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Scarlett. How are you? I love your
I'm
little
good.
ribbons.
Thanks,
Oh,
my
lovely.
grandma did them today.
Oh, so cute. Hi.
Okay, I got to go. Bye, Maddie.
Oh.
Okay, they had to make their appearance in the museum. They've been waiting all night to do that.
This was John Harvey's final Hammer film. Dracula makes his first appearance at around 31 minutes into the movie, so
Yep,
a
takes
third
a
of the
minute.
way through. The motorcycles are Suzuki GTs, which are two strokes and make a high-pitched ring-a-ding-ding sound. Is that a good imitation?
No.
Thought it was good, Brett.
Probably thought out a place in a horror film and have been dubbed so they sound like a four-stroke. This film takes place in November of 1974. So it was in the future. Before appearing properly in the movie, Christopher Lee has just one scene and without any dialogue. We've already talked about that. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, as we both know, also played villains in the Star Wars saga.
They did.
I think Star Wars was like one of the next pictures that Peter Cushing did after this one. What Star Wars was what 77?
77. Look, and there's Peter Cushing right there from Star Wars.
There he is. The character of Jessica Van Helsing has been played in each Hammer film by an actress who also portrays a character romantically linked to Ken Barlow on Coronation Street from 1960, Stephanie Beacham in 2009, and Joanna Lumley in 1973.
Here is Christopher Lee, too. That looks just like him.
It does.
This
are
one
those
was
are those the
70s.
are those the Nika ones?
No, these are legit Kenner Star Wars. This one's from the 70s, so it's not as this one's newer, so yeah, but they stand right together right up here watching me all the time. Definitely two of my favorite actors ever.
That Peter Cushing's probably worth some money, dude.
Not really.
You don't think so? Even if it had it in the box, original box?
I don't, why do you want to keep toys in a box? I want to play with them.
Well, I know. I'm just saying I don't want to keep them in the box. I've never have and never will.
No, this isn't worth anything, honestly.
Oh, gotcha.
They made so much of that crap. Yeah. There's the most, we're way off topic now, but the most valuable Star Wars stuff is the things that were like had errors on them or they printed the wrong color of something.
Gotcha.
That's where you get your most value.
Well, I'm out of trivia, so you got anything else you wanted to point out about the movie, Carl, before we?
No, I don't think so. I think you did a good job of trivia.
Okay.
The public domain thing is what's weird that the Warner let this thing fall out of licensing for whatever reason in the U.S.
So if it's in public domain, anybody could go make copies of this and distribute them.
But Warner finally put it out. So I think maybe they got the rights to it back. I don't know. I don't see all these crappy public domain copies of it floating around anymore either. So there you go.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Let's Natasha go first. Let's hear your
Alrighty.
thoughts and views. And
okay. I'm gonna call it what it is. It's a really good makeout movie. It's a really good makeout movie. I love that it's so cute in 70s styles, which I mean, obviously it's a 70s movie. And it has a classic horror movie vibe. It's got Christopher Lee, which is great. But I don't know, and maybe it's a generational thing. Like I grew up in the time of Saw and, Hostel and all of that. There's something dramatic happens in the first 1 second of the movie, and it's movies are faster paced these days than they were back in the 70s. So for me personally, I found it a bit slow. A part of me was kind of like, okay, something happens and then they kind of blab, and then something happens and then they kind of blab. Like overall, it was not a bad movie, but I liked Dracula, the one before that, 1972, whatever, AD, heaps better. I felt that it moved a lot quicker. The storyline just flowed. I don't know. This wasn't bad, but this is like the perfect movie to watch like on a date, with someone, and then you like make out, watch a bit of the movie, and then we get slow, make out again. That's how I saw it. I mean, overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was interesting.
Did you have a builder over when you watched this movie?
I didn't. I'm full of regret. I should have.
You should have. Now you regret it.
Oh, that's sort of an inside joke.
No.
Okay.
I should have
go ahead.
But yeah, no. Overall, it was good. It was okay. I don't know, like, it was really obvious. Like I said, to me personally, as soon as they announced that, girlfriend was Van Helsing's granddaughter, I'm like, I bet you this, and that happens. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know. It has a cute 70s horror movie vibe, though. And if you love that classic horror thing, it's great, which I like it. It wasn't bad. I'd give it like two stars out of 5.
2.5 out of 5 or 2?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Just 2.
All right. 2 out of 5. 2. All right, Carl.
Me next.
You next. I'll go last.
Well, like I said, this is one of those movies that I always sort of was fond of, and I don't really know why I was, but I was. I was ecstatic when I finally got the real copy. It's really a crappy movie, honestly, but it's like a guilty pleasure to me watching this thing. Maybe it's just because they're doing the Satanic Rites of Dracula, and I just like the whole Dracula being tied to the satanic cultism. I don't know. I do like watching this. I watch it over and over, and it don't bother me. It could have been so much better, I think, if they would have just really wrote a better plot. But like I like Dracula trying to destroy the world with the plague. Of course, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing are great in it. It's funny because being it's a sequel to the other 70s Dracula movie, I think it's a far better movie. So here's an example of a sequel being probably better. Where would I rate this thing? In my personal opinion, I'd give this thing like a 4.5 just because I like watching it. I literally have posters of this movie all throughout the museum in here. It's just a guilty pleasure movie. I don't know if other people would like it, but I do. And that's just my opinion. Okay. It's fun.
So and 4.5.
I don't know what else to give it. I can't give it a 5. It probably deserves about a 2, but like Natasha said, but
okay.
Dang.
All right, my turn. I don't ever remember seeing this at the theater back in the day when this came out. 78, I was 11. And other things had come out that I probably would have rather seen than this anyway. I'm pretty sure it did play in the town I lived in, but I never did get to see it at the theater. but sort of slow starting off.
It is
very slow. The special effects in this were not very good at all. Not a big fan of that. Soundtrack is unmemorable too. Just a bunch of 70s hippie music, I guess you might want to call it. The plot, it sort of, the way they changed it up halfway through the movie, it sort of throws you for a loop, like, oh, like, where the hell's this going,
right.
It was shot well, the
It looks
cinematography.
good.
They did a good job on that. Whoever the guy was that did that. I don't know. There's nothing much I can say about this. I actually do like it better though than the one before, the 72 AD.
A lot better in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe the plot twist fucking made the movie, so I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I'm going half C's on this one.
Understandable.
So it's not the best Hammer Dracula.
Not the worst.
Not the worst. So
like I said, I think I just like the Satanic Rites name and that they're actually conducting some kind of ceremony and Dracula's involved. I think that's the allure to me. I'm just, that's how I am. I am Count Karabi after all, and he's also plays with the Satanic Rites.
Oh, and there weren't enough good looking chicks in this movie too. So a couple of them were pretty fugly looking.
Oh no.
Really? I thought they were all so pretty. I felt like there was a lack of good looking men.
Maybe there was one of them that wasn't the best that they've had before.
I didn't like the Van Helsing. Like I said before, I thought the first lady was better in the last movie.
So yeah, I'll give it a 2.5.
She didn't look like she'd be related to Peter Cushing to me.
Oh, I have a fun fact. This movie actually features in a tarot deck. I'll go grab it.
Oh, cool.
I can't believe I didn't even think of it until now.
That's cool there.
I'm watching it and then the scene comes on and I'm like, oh my God, that's from my tarot deck. So I have this tarot deck. It's called the Horror Tarot.
Oh, cool.
And what it is like classic horror movie posters, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, they all have that kind of vibe, like, do you know what I mean? And that one I'll show you that. That's really cool. That's the sound. So the Three of Cups, you'll know it when you see it. If I can find it real quick. I was like, oh, that's where this movie or that card come from.
Oh, okay.
You know the end scene where like that's the little Asian high priestess lady and they're in their little red robes in not in the cave, in the bottom of like the building, and they're doing all the chaotic shit right before ritual.
Right. That's too dang
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that reminds me of that. That's where that movie's from. Yeah, it must have been popular enough for someone to have, related it to.
It was quite popular in England, I believe. The US, it was just complete nothing.
Yeah. Sure. Oh yeah, if you guys want, you should totally get this deck, by the way, Carl.
I'm thinking I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Send me the link. I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's great because it has like some of the cards have the meanings written on them a little bit, but like from a horror movie standpoint, like the devil is, horror tarot, 15th card, major arcana. Oh, you're going to love this. The vampirism of the devil forces you to give into your darkest impulses, binding you to his will. And so, it gives like the meaning of the card, but in like a movie plot kind of way.
That's
Cool.
too cool. That's really cool.
Awesome.
Right? Love this deck.
Cool. All right. Does anybody got anything else on this film? No?
No,
Yay?
I just
No?
like it. I'm sorry. It's my guilty pleasure.
I don't dislike it and I don't love it. It's okay, but I suggest watching it. I think everybody, if you're a Hammer fan, for sure, watch it.
Yeah.
If you haven't,
And
was
you
this
don't
your
have to watch the other one to understand what's going on, honestly.
Mm.
was this your first time of seeing it, Natasha?
Yeah, that's for my first time seeing it. I didn't even realize that it was a sequel to the 1973 AD one. Because I really love that movie. Like it's probably one of my favorite
It's,
movies.
it's probably like me. It just some of these movies are guilty pleasures and these 70s
Well,
British movies.
Well, I like it because, like, and that's the thing. I'm watching it 50 years in the future. And
Yeah.
for me, it's like looking back. And, the whole thing is, okay, whatever, he dies, whatever. And then he's resurrected in the 70s. And everyone's like, ooh, 70s, we have technology now and digital calculators and, ooh, my typewriter. Do you know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
The
Yeah. And it's
retro.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this, yeah. And the whole thing of, oh, we're in the 70s now, we're in the modern future. Women can have a job. It's such a vibe. It just made me laugh. And it's not that they're being silly, like
No,
the
they were being
70s were
serious.
revolutionary.
That is how it was in the 70s. And I think that film had that,
Yeah.
whereas this one probably did not as much. This one isn't
No,
as
no.
retro 70s. So it makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I just love like the vibe of the hippies where they're like, this isn't like, 1,000 years ago. This is the 70s. We're going to get you. Like it was just such a whole vibe. And that's them in the 70s. So to look back, I found it really entertaining and I just really enjoyed it for that factor. It's kind of like one of my favorite scenes in Creature from the Black Lagoon, because that's what 1955 or something, isn't it?
53, maybe.
52, yeah, 52 or
Yeah.
53.
Yeah.
Yeah, early 50s. And they're on the boat and he's explaining to the lady, he's like, technology is going to advance so much and we're going to discover new things and maybe one day we'll send man to the moon. Like when you watch it in like 2010 and somebody says that, you have to pause and have a giggle where they're like talking about technology advancement. We're going to send man to the moon. And that happened like 50 years ago for you. It just the looking back perspective. I enjoyed that. And I think that's what I really liked about the other movie, the 1973 AD one, is that looking back perspective. But this one was just, I don't know. It was cute. I did like the 70s vibe, but I don't know. And again, like I said, it's a generational thing. All old school movies tend to be a bit slower. They have a bit more
They
build
do.
up. They have credits at the start, whereas movies these days don't have that because of how fast paced life is. Our attention span just isn't that long anymore. And I always have to sort of re-regulate my brain and be like, okay, it's an OG movie. It's going to be slow, but it wasn't bad. Wasn't my favorite. Wasn't bad though.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we got for the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Thanks for coming on, Natasha. We appreciate it.
Yeah, join
Thank
us
you for
again
having
soon.
me. Yeah,
Send me the
this was
link.
so
I'm
much
gonna buy
fun.
that deck. I want it.
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening, whatever you're doing. And check us out on our social medias. Join our Facebook group, The Evil Ones. And we will talk to you next week. Have no idea what we're going to do, but we'll do something. All right, everybody. Stay evil.
It's happening right now in London. New York could be next. Or Paris, or Rome, or Tokyo. It's happening right now to this girl. Perhaps It's your turn next.
We are not dealing with ordinary criminals. The real force is more sinister, more obscene than any monstrosity you can think of. Lord of corruption, master of the undead. Count Dracula.
Nothing is too vile. Nothing is too dreadful. You need to know the terror, the horror.
Is that what you want, Count Dracula? A last blaze of utter horror and violence? Ghastly annihilation of an entire planet? Is this your own death wish?
I call upon you to witness my supreme triumph.
Count Dracula! 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 My revenge has spread over centuries and has just begun!